How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be doing something that should have been done last week. However, I wanted to get a good hold of a majority of the weapons we're going to be looking at today before I gave you my honest opinion on rolls that I would like on them, instead of just looking at Light GG, looking at the perks and going, oh, that's what you need to use. I like to have hands-on experience. So yes, this video is a little late, but these are going to be both the PvE and the PvP, what should be considered the Godrolls, for all the guns that came out with the new update last week. So this is going to be a pretty long video as there's a lot to get through. So like, comment, and subscribe. And let's have a quick word from our sponsor. The first set of weapons that we're going to be looking at today are going to be the Guardian Games weapons, which you can get currently by doing the Guardian Games event in the game and by depositing the medallions for your class. They all come with the Origin trait Classic Contender, where final blows with this weapon grant class ability energy, which is super nice for those type of builds. The first weapon we're going to look at is going to be the Title, which is a Void Aggressive Frame SMG. In its third column, it has Repulsor Brace, Pugilist, Perpetual Motion, Dynamic Swing Reduction, Threat Detector, Grave Robber, and Attrition Orbs. In its fourth column, it has Swashbuckler, Destabilizing Rounds, Rangefinder, Deconstruct, Collective Action, Surrounded, and Vorpal Weapon. For PvE, I really want Repulsor Brace and Destabilizing Rounds for my Void builds, and for PvP, Perpetual Motion, Dynamic Swing Reduction are really good. Rangefinder is also really good to get just a little bit of extra out of it, and Collective Action because Void Breaches are really easy to make and collect, so you can get just that little bit of extra damage out of it. Next, we have Taraxipus, which is a strand lightweight frame scout rifle. In its third slot, it has Eye of the Storm, Enlightened Action, Zen Moment, fourth time's a charm, moving target, keep away, and gut shot straight. In its fourth column, it has Precision Instrument, Kill Clip, Encore, Focus Fury, Cascade Point, Hatchlings, and Explosive Payload. For PvE, fourth time's a charm with Focus Fury is great. You're never going to run out of ammo, and you're always going to get that good damage buff. And Hatchlings so we can create Threadlings. For PvP, Zen Moment is amazing for all weapons on all inputs. I love Zen Moment. You also have Kill Clip to increase its damage, and Encore so we can have that little bit of extra stat bumps, because in this current sandbox, I prefer consistency over damage with the whole wanting to get those precision hits. That's just me personally. Moving on, we have the Hullabaloo, the Arc Compressed Waveframe Heavy Grenade Launcher. In its third slot, it has Envious Assassin, Impulse Amplifier, Enlightened Action, Field Prep, Auto-Loading Holster, Grave Robber, and Volt Shot. In its fourth slot, it has Chain Reaction, Cascade Point, Disruption Break, One for All, Vorpal Weapon, Collective Action, and Golden Tricorn. In its third column, we're going to want Envious Assassin or Volt Shot, because you're either going to have a ton of ammo or you're going to deal a lot of chain damage. And then in its fourth slot, you have Chain Reaction for more explosions, and One for All because as a waveframe grenade launcher, it's really easy to get One for All to go off. For PvP, I'm just going to take Impulse Amplifier and Disruption Break because those are really the only two perks that really say anything crazy to me for PvP. Next, we're going to be taking a look at the Prophecy weapons. These weapons have been redone and they've had a few new ones added into the whole rotation of weapons. It comes with the Origin trait Crossing Over. This weapon has increased range and handling for the top half of the magazine, while rounds from the bottom half of the magazine deal increased damage. Both of these are extremely noticeable when you use these weapons. The first weapon we're actually going to take a full-on look at is going to be Judgment. This is a stasis adaptive frame hand cannon, and in its third column it has Demolitionist, Encore, Enlightened Action, Headstone, Moving Target, and Slide Shot. In its fourth column it has Adrenaline Junkie, Eye of the Storm, Multi-Kill Clip, Opening Shot, Time Payload, and Vorpal Weapon. For PvE, Demolitionist, Headstone, amazing choices in that third column. Adrenaline Junkie and Vorpal, also really good options in that fourth column. For PvP, there are things like Moving Target, which is really good, which I didn't actually put into the slide for some reason, even though it's amazing. Slide Shot is also really good. Eye of the Storm is really good for that consistency, and Timed Payload. Payload perks got a slight nerf, and I haven't really seen anything crazy about them saying that they're not useful anymore, so Time Payload is still a pretty solid option for this hand cannon. Next, we're going to take a look at Relentless. This is a strand high impact pulse rifle. In its third column it has Keep Away, Outlaw, Rapid Hit, Slice, Snapshot Sight, and Slideways. In its fourth column it has Desperado, Frenzy, Hatchlings, Headseeker, Moving Target, and Zen Moment. For PvE, Rapid Hit, Slice, Frenzy, Hatchlings. Those are probably the best options we have when it comes to the PvE rolls for this weapon. For PvP, however, this thing is a monster. We have Rapid Hit, Keep Away, Headseeker, Zen Moment. We even have Moving Target, Slideways, Outlaw. Literally every single perk on this weapon is completely usable inside of PvP, and is honestly, as of right now, one of my favorite high impact pulse rifles to use inside of PvP. It is absolutely amazing. Next, we have the Educator Kinetic Precision Frame SMG. In its third column, it has Dynamic Sway Reduction, Feeding Frenzy, Prep Motion, Rangefinder, Subsistence, Threat Detector. In its fourth column, it has Fragile Focus, Frenzy, Kinetic Tremors, Onslaught, Rampage, and Target Lock. For PvE, Feeding Frenzy and Subsistence are amazing so you can reload faster, get your ammo back. In that fourth column, Kinetic Tremors and Onslaught are also just really good. Kinetic Tremors for the damage, Onslaught for the RPM increase. For PvP, Dynamic Sway and Prep Motion are also really good. For our fourth column, Target Lock is an obvious choice, but I've also seen people use Fragile Focus to increase the range of this weapon by quite a bit. So again, that is also a really good option. Again, when it comes to a lot of these prophecy weapons, you can't go wrong with picking any of their perk combination traits, so just keep that in mind, but those are the ones that I would go for this particular weapon. Next, we have Darkest Before, which is now a solar rapid fire frame pulse rifle, and in its third column, it has Attrition Orbs, Elemental Capacitor, Heal Clip, Deconstruct, Subsistence, and Wellspring. In its fourth column, it has Headseeker, Focus Fury, Incandescent, Kill Clip, One for All, and Surplus. For PvE, I'm a huge fan of Heal Clip. I know it can be used in PvP, but I prefer it in PvE, and of course Subsistence so we can get our ammo back. Pair that with Incandescent, and we're going to have a weapon that's just going to be spraying bullets down almost like a flamethrower. In PvP, however, Elemental Capacitor is really good for all the bonuses you get depending on what subclass you use. Headseeker, because Headseeker is honestly probably one of the best perks across all pulse rifles, and then of course Kill Clip just for that overall damage increase. I prefer this weapon more in PvE, and that's saying something because pulse rifles are not that good in PvE right now. Next, we have the Prosecutor, the Arc Precision Auto Rifle. In its third column, we have Discord, Dragonfly, Gut Shot Straight, Keep Away, Rewind Rounds, and Zend Moment. In our fourth column, we have Cascade Point, Frenzy, Golden Tricorn, Tap the Trigger, and Target Lock with Volt Shot. For PvE, Dragonfly is amazing. Rewind Rounds, which I know I say that horribly, is also really good. Pair that with Frenzy and even Volt Shot, and this weapon is going to be amazing. Explosions everywhere, tons of ammo, good damage. For PvP, Keep Away is an amazing choice, as is Zen Moment. They're going to give you either a range bump or just a stability bump with flinch resistance, which is really good. And then on the fourth column, we have Tap the Trigger, which is going to also increase your stability, and Target Lock to increase your damage. I really like this weapon, actually in PvP more than I like it in PvE. After that, we have a Sudden Death. This is a Void Aggressive Frame Shotgun. In its third column, we have Elemental Capacitor, Threat Detector, Discord, Envious Assassin, Slide Shot, and Repulsor Brace. In its fourth column, we have Barrel Constrictor, Cascade Point, Destabilizing Rounds, 1-2 Punch, and Opening Shot, and Trench Barrel. This is a shotgun, so for PvE, it's kind of iffy, but if I am going to get a PvE roll, I'm going to want Envious Assassin or Repulsor Brace in that third column, and then pair that with Destabilizing Rounds or just 1-2 Punch for a general shotgun build. However, for PvP, Elemental Capacitor is great. Again, all the good perk bonuses, whatever you want to call it, from different subclasses, and then Slide Shot because that is a very good choice for shotguns. Barrel Constrictor because that just got a hefty buff and I really want one to try it, and then of course Opening Shot because again, that is a very classic shotgun perk. I have Slide Shot, Opening Shot, and I absolutely love it on this shotgun. The next set of weapons we're going to look at are going to be our ritual weapons. These are the things that we got for Nightfalls, Trials of Osiris, and Iron Banner, and these all come with a multitude of different origin traits, so I'm not going to go over them, but we're going to start with the Iron Banner weapons, and we're going to start with the returning Multi-Mag CCX Kinetic Lightweight SMG. In its third column, we have Attrition Orbs, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Iron Gaze, Rangefinder, Moving Target Under Over. In its fourth column, we have Frenzy, Iron Reach, Kill Clip, Kinetic Tremors, Tap the Trigger, and Target Lock. For PvE, Dynamic Sway is probably the better option we have here. We also have Frenzy, which is really good, and Kinetic Tremors is always amazing on any kinetic weapon. For PvP, again, Dynamic Sway is amazing, Moving Target to increase that target acquisition, Iron Reach to drastically increase that range, and then of course, Target Lock because that is again a really good perk, even still with all the nerfs on SMGs. Next we have Tusk of the Boar. This is a Strand Wayframe Grenade Launcher, and this is the one that I'm really excited about. In its third column, it has Envious Assassin, Enlightened Action, Grave Robber, Slice, Slideways, and Pulse Monitor. In its fourth column, column, it has Chain Reaction, Hatchlings, Bait and Switch, Swashbuckler, Vorpal Weapon, and Deconstruct. For PvE, Envious Assassin and Slice are really good in that third column, and that fourth column, Chain Reaction or Hatchlings. I wish this weapon could roll Chain Reaction and Hatchlings in separate columns, because that would just make it super fun. For PvP, I'm not going to use it that much, but I can see a play for Enlightened Action and Swashbuckler. Those are both really good options to use, which are really the ones that I can see being used inside of PvP. Moving on to our Nightfall weapons, we have the Slammer. This is a Stasis Vortex Frame Sword, and its third column has Attrition Orbs, Relentless Strikes, Eager Edge, Pugilist, Chain Reaction, and Thresh. In its fourth column, it has Cold Steel, One for All, Collective Action, Permeability, Demolitionist, and Bait and Switch. For PvE, Relentless Strikes, Eager Edge, Chain Reaction, all great. Fourth column, Cold Steel, Bait and Switch. Those are the ones that I'm going to go for. For PvP, I'm literally just going to try for an Eager Edge Cold Steel roll, because I think it would be hilarious to Eager Edge to somebody, hit the spin, and then free shatter them, but that's just me. Of course, there are probably other options that other people want, but that's just what I want for just the pure meme of it all. Next, we're going to look at Wild Style. This is a solar double fire frame grenade launcher. In its third column, it has Keep Away, Envious Assassin, Relentless, Danger Zone, Stats for All, and Enlightened Action. In its fourth column, it has Incandescent, Permeability, One for All, Surrounded, Attrition Orbs, and Collective Action. In PvE, I'm going to want Envious Assassin and Danger Zone in that first slot, that third slot, whatever you want to call it. And then in my fourth one, I'm going to want Incandescent, One for All, or Surrounded, just for A, being able to spread Scorch, or wanting to do more damage. For PvP, there's obviously a play for Keep Away, give us a little bit more range, even though I don't know how much that really affects a grenade launcher, and Enlightened Action, so that this way we can get all those sweet little handling buffs and whatnot when we damage targets. And that fourth column, I only want Incandescent for PvP, because scorching things when you defeat them is actually really good when you have people who are currently playing in this meta as a team shot meta, where everybody's just team shotting each other, so this can get people to back off quite easily. And finally, we're going to take a look at our Trials of Osiris weapons. We're going to take a look at the returning one first, which is the Summoner, a solar adaptive frame auto rifle, which in its third column comes with the perks Heal Clip, Elemental Capacitor, Zen Moment, Subsistence, Dynamic Sway Reduction, Prep Motion, and Overflow. In its fourth column, it has Incandescent, Target Lock, Tap the Trigger, Kill Clip, Onslaught, Golden Tricorn, and Rampage. In its third column, I want Heal Clip because I like Heal Clip for PvE primarily, and Subsistence so we can get some ammo back. In our fourth column, I want Incandescent to spread Scorch, and Onslaught so I can see how fast this thing can truly fire. For PvP, in that third column, Zen Moment is amazing. It's going to reduce your flinch, and Dynamic Sway is great because it is going to increase your stability. For your fourth column, Target Lock to increase damage, Kill Clip to increase damage, Tap the Trigger to increase your stability on the initial opening volley of your weapon. So with Dynamic Sway and Tap the Trigger, of course, you are just going to have a completely and ridiculously stable weapon. Zen Moment and Target Lock play also really well for this weapon for PvP as well. And then finally, we have the Prophet, a Stasis aggressive frame scout rifle, which in its third column comes with Discord, Enlightened Action, Demolitionist, Keep Away, Hipfire Grip, Outlaw, and Rapid Hit. And in its fourth column, it has Cascade Point, Explosive Payload, Golden Tricorn, Headstone, Offhand Strike, Kill Clip, and Precision Instrument. For PvE in that third column, Demolitionist is going to be great, gets your grenade back quicker, Rapid Hit so you can make the weapon more stable. In that fourth column, Explosive Payload is really good in both PvE and PvP, but I'm looking at it as a PvE standpoint right now. It's going to be really good for certain champion perks, like for example Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle. This is going to do extra damage to that barrier champion, and of course Headstone to play into Stasis. For PvP, we have Keep Away, which is great, gives you that extra range on those long range maps. Hipfire Grip, as this is a Tex Mechanical weapon and it has the Tex Mechanica stock for its origin trait. Also again, Rapid Hit is really good here. And then in its fourth column, Offhand Strike paired with Hipfire Grip is apparently supposedly the best roll you can get, but I've seen people say that the hipfire on this thing is still not that great. And then just Kill Clip, because with Kill Clip you can 2-tap with this thing, and it is a 2-tap machine. But with that, that is all 15 of the new weapons. They're rolls that I want, the rolls that should be pretty good on them, so hopefully you stayed to the end, or you may have even just cherry-picked the information you wanted and looked at only the weapons you want, as I'm going to have the chapters in the description so you can just pick which weapon you want. Either way, I greatly appreciate your time coming to watch this, even though it is a week late, and this is a very, very long video, so I will leave it at that. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment what you want on these weapons, and of course, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next video.